buckle up, everybody, because today we are going deep, deep into flow state.
Ooh, flow state.
Yeah, that zone, everybody's heard about it, right?
Right.
Where you're just totally locked in, you lose track of time.
Time just melts away.
And you are just killing it, whatever it is you're doing.
Exactly.
But get this, today we are going to uncover some stuff about flow state that might just change how you think about it.
And what's really fascinating is that you don't have to be like some pro athlete or some kind of virtuoso musician or something,
Right,
to be able to tap into flow state.
right.
It's something that is accessible to each of us in our everyday lives, and that's one of the things we're going to get into today.
Absolutely. And the material we're diving into today, it even it connects flow state to longer telomeres. Remember those?
Oh, yeah.
Those protective caps in our DNA. So it's like flow state might actually be the key to healthy aging. But before we get there, let's start with the basics.
Yeah.
What is flow state, really?
Well, the Free Dictionary gives us kind of a basic definition.
Okay.
Flow state is that altered state of consciousness where your mind is firing on all cylinders, time gets wonky, and happiness just reigns supreme.
Yeah.
But the guy who kind of like invented flow research, Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi,
Yeah.
he kind of took it a step further.
Right.
He talked about like really pushing yourself to your limits in pursuit of something meaningful, really challenging yourself.
Right. So that's what most people think of when they think of flow, like that super intense focus, when you're like climbing Mount Everest or coding all night long.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
But our source actually says that flow can happen anywhere, like even on vacation.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that feeling of being totally absorbed, exploring a new city or something?
Uh-huh.
That's flow.
Exactly. And that's where this thing called the Inflowfit Method comes in.
Okay.
Which is all about removing internal conflicts to be able to unlock that state of flow.
So how do we do that? The source uses this analogy, flowing water versus stagnant water.
Ooh, I like that.
I thought it was brilliant.
Yeah.
Flowing water, it's easy, it adapts, there's no resistance.
Right.
But stagnant water, it gets all murky, it loses its, loses its vitality.
Yeah, it starts to smell, it gets all gross.
Right, exactly. So if we apply that to our lives, it's all about focusing on the things that we can control.
Okay.
And accepting the things that we can't.
Right. So like when you're stressing about stuff that you have no control over,
Yes.
it's like you're building a dam in your own mind.
Yes.
Blocking that natural flow of energy.
Totally. And this takes us to a deeper level.
Okay.
This idea of flow as a state of going beyond form.
Going beyond form. That's interesting.
Yeah, the source talks about flow as being connected to our energetic self.
Okay.
Like we're tapping into something beyond our physical form.
Yeah, that's a lot.
It's kind of hard to wrap your head around.
It is. It's pretty esoteric. To make sense of this a little bit, we can maybe bring in Carl Jung's work.
Okay.
On the psyche.
Okay.
He talked about this duality that we all have within us.
Okay.
The light and the shadow, the conscious and the unconscious.
Yeah.
And so achieving flow, if we're kind of, following along with our source here,
Right.
means finding that balance between
Right.
those forces.
So it's not just about feeling good. It's about becoming like a more whole person.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah. And that wholeness, it requires that we operate from a very specific state of being.
Okay. Which is
Love. Yeah.
love. Like hearts and flowers, Valentine's Day kind of love.
Not exactly, no.
Okay.
The source, it contrasts love with fear.
Okay.
So when we're in like fear mode,
Yeah.
that's that fight or flight response.
Yeah.
You're constantly on edge, just focused on survival.
Right. Right.
But to reach that flow state, we need to be in a state of love,
Okay.
where our mind, body, and spirit are in harmony.
Which makes sense. When you think about it, like when you're so stressed out, you can't even think straight.
Right.
You're definitely not in flow.
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Gandhi said it really beautifully.
Okay.
He said, happiness is when what you think, what you say, and what you do are in harmony.
Ooh, I like that.
And that alignment, that's really what flow is all about.
So it's not just about how we feel at the moment. It's about this deeper sense of inner peace.
Yes, exactly.
And get this, the source even says this can impact our health, specifically our telomeres.
Oh, wow, yeah, telomeres.
Remember, those protective caps on our DNA
Yeah.
that shorten as we age.
Right, and shorter telomeres are linked to all kinds of age-related diseases and stuff.
Exactly. But the source is saying that lifestyle choices can actually impact telomere length. Pretty wild.
It is, and there was this this study back in 2013 from UCSF
Yeah.
that found that things like healthy eating and meditation and stress management, they were actually associated with longer telomeres.
Wow. So you're saying that finding flow could actually help us slow down aging?
Potentially, yeah. It really highlights how interconnected our minds and our bodies and our spirits really are.
That's incredible.
It is.
Okay, so let's get into the nuts and bolts of the Inflowfit method.
Right.
The source gives us this blueprint for actually achieving flow.
Good.
What stood out to you?
Well, one of the things that really surprised me was this emphasis on water fasting.
Water fasting.
Yeah, they even quote Dr. Rahul Jandial, who's a really well-known brain surgeon.
Okay.
And he explains that fasting can actually boost these things called brain growth factors.
Okay.
And enhance something called metabolic flexibility.
Wait, hold on, back up. What's metabolic flexibility?
It basically means that your body gets better at switching between different fuel sources.
Okay.
So instead of relying only on glucose, you can also use fat stores for energy. Yeah, and Dr. Jandial even connects this back to like ancient Greek philosophers who used fasting to sharpen their minds.
So we're talking about fasting for a mental edge.
Yeah, kind of wild.
That is pretty wild. So what else is in this blueprint?
Well, another big thing is this idea of consuming high vibrational foods.
High vibrational foods. Okay, that sounds a little out there.
It does. But think of it this way.
Okay.
It's about choosing foods that give you the most energy.
Okay.
With the least amount of effort for your body to process them, to digest them.
So maximizing our energy efficiency.
Exactly.
I like it. What kind of foods are we talking about?
Things like fresh fruits and vegetables, nuts, seeds.
Okay.
Basically, whole unprocessed foods, packed with nutrients and stuff.
Okay.
The source even suggests avoiding food combining.
Food combining.
Yeah, and even try like mono diets where you just eat one type of food for a whole day.
What, like all bananas all day?
Yeah, something like that.
How does that even work?
Well, the idea is that you're simplifying digestion, giving your body a break.
Yeah.
Remember, it's all about reducing internal conflict, creating that smooth flow of energy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and get this. They even suggest listening to classical music while you eat.
While you're eating?
While you're eating.
Okay, that's a new one.
Yeah. But, if you think about it,
yeah,
creating a calming atmosphere during meals could really enhance, how you relate to food.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's all these little details.
Yeah.
That all tie back to this bigger picture of flow.
Exactly. And this is just the beginning. We got a lot more to unpack in the next part of our deep dive.
Stay tuned because we are going to explore even more practices from the Inflowfit method and how they can help you create real lasting transformation. All right, welcome back. All this talk about flow, it's got me feeling pretty energized.
Yeah, it's really remarkable, isn't it? Just talking about these ideas, it's like it shifts something in our awareness.
Yeah.
And our own energy.
For sure. And, in the last part, we were talking about the Inflowfit method and that blueprint for achieving flow.
Right.
And one thing that I was really surprised by was this suggestion to try mono diets.
Yeah, I know at first glance, the idea of eating just one type of food for an entire day,
right,
it sounds a little extreme.
Yeah.
But if we think about it, in the context of like reducing that internal conflict, creating that smoother flow of energy, it kind of starts to make a little more sense.
So it's like giving your digestive system a vacation.
Yeah, exactly. Our bodies are so incredibly adaptable. They can process so many different kinds of foods.
Right.
But when we're constantly bombarding our system with all these complex combinations,
yeah,
it can lead to, inefficiency, even digestive distress.
Sure.
So by simplifying things with a mono diet, we're basically giving our digestive system a chance to reset.
I like it. Hit the reset button on the digestion. All right. Let's move on to another element of the Inflowfit method that really resonated with me, and that was this idea of cultivating self-awareness.
Ah, yes. Self-awareness, that's absolutely crucial for achieving flow,
Yeah.
Because how can we possibly minimize internal conflict and create ease if we're not even aware of what's happening inside
Totally.
our own minds and bodies?
Yeah. It's like trying to navigate a maze in the dark. You need that flashlight,
Exactly.
of awareness to see where you're going.
Yeah, the source really encourages us to practice mindfulness.
Okay.
Throughout the day, just observing our thoughts without judgment,
Yeah.
tuning into those subtle signals that our body is sending us.
It's so easy to ignore those.
It is. But when we pay attention,
Yeah.
it allows us to identify those blocks to flow. Those negative thought patterns, those limiting beliefs, even physical tension.
So instead of just reacting to whatever life throws at us, we become more conscious creators of our own experience.
Exactly. And speaking of awareness,
Yeah.
the Source also emphasizes the importance of connecting with nature.
Oh, yeah. There's something so restorative about spending time in nature.
Absolutely.
It's like our nervous system gets to recalibrate.
Yes.
Step out of that crazy pace of modern life.
Right.
And just tune into those natural rhythms.
Absolutely. The sights, the sounds, even the smells of the natural world.
Yeah.
They can have such a profound impact on our mental and emotional well-being.
For sure.
The Source even suggests, like, going for walks,
Yeah.
practicing conscious breathing,
Right.
and just taking the time to really observe the wonders around us.
It's such a good reminder to just slow down, be present, and appreciate, the beauty that's all around us.
Yes, absolutely. And that brings us to another powerful practice that the Source highlights, and that's cultivating gratitude.
Gratitude, such a simple practice, but so powerful.
It's so easy to get caught up in what we lack,
Yeah.
what we want to achieve.
Yeah.
But taking the time to appreciate what we already have, that can have such a huge impact on our well-being.
So true. So true.
The Source suggests things like keeping a gratitude journal,
Okay.
expressing appreciation to our loved ones,
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
just taking a moment each day to really acknowledge all the good things in our lives.
Yeah, it's like shifting our internal compass from scarcity to abundance.
Yeah.
Recognizing that there's already so much richness within us and around us.
And that shift in perspective
Yeah,
can make all the difference.
we can.
When we approach life from a place of gratitude, we're so much more likely to find joy in the present moment.
Right.
And to approach challenges with a sense of optimism and resilience.
Like gratitude is a catalyst for flow,
Yes.
helping us tap into that ease and appreciation that allows us to thrive.
And speaking of thriving, the Source also emphasizes the importance of genuine human connection.
Yes, we live in a world that often prioritizes like transactional relationships.
Right.
But that true connection, that feeling of being seen, heard, understood,
Yeah,
it's so essential.
it is. And the Source encourages us to foster personal relationships
Okay.
for the pure pleasure of getting to know other people,
Yeah.
understanding their perspectives, learning from them.
So letting go of our own agenda,
Yeah,
just approaching those interactions with a sense of curiosity.
exactly. It's about recognizing the inherent value and worth of every individual
Yeah.
and approaching each interaction as an opportunity for growth and connection.
It reminds me of that saying, to be interesting, be interested.
That's a great way to put it, yeah. And this brings us to another suggestion from the Source that might surprise some listeners.
Okay, what's that?
Seeking guidance from spiritual leaders.
Oh, yeah. The Source mentions Eckhart Tolle and Ram Dass and Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Yes.
What do you think they offer in the context of flow?
Well, these individuals, they offer such profound insights into the nature of consciousness.
Right.
The power of the present moment, the
Yeah.
interconnectedness of all things.
Yeah.
And these are concepts that are deeply, deeply relevant to the flow state.
Totally.
And what's so great is that their teachings are really accessible now
Yeah.
through their YouTube channels.
Yeah. It's like having a personal mentorship program
Yeah, exactly.
right there in your pocket.
Right at your fingertips.
Awesome. And on a lighter note, the Source also emphasizes something as simple as smiling.
Smiling, it's so powerful.
It is.
Not only does it brighten our own day, but it sends that ripple of positivity out into the world.
Yeah. It's such an easy way to shift your internal state.
It is.
Create a little connection.
And finally, the Source encourages us to find joy in all our activities.
Yeah.
Even those mundane chores that we tend to dread.
That we all hate.
Yeah, exactly. And this goes back to that idea of acceptance.
Right.
Embracing all aspects of our lives.
Yeah.
Even the seemingly unpleasant ones.
For sure.
And finding ways to approach them with a sense of lightness, even playfulness.
So it's about shifting our perspective and realizing that even in those ordinary tasks, there's opportunity for growth and learning and even joy.
Exactly. Remember, flow is not about seeking perfection.
You're right.
It's about embracing the full spectrum of human experience.
It's about finding that sweet spot, where effortlessness meets engagement.
Yes.
Where challenge meets mastery.
It's about living a life that is both fulfilling and meaningful, a life that's in alignment with our deepest values and aspirations.
Powerful stuff.
And that's a journey we can all embark on, regardless of our circumstances or background.
That's so empowering to realize, that flow isn't just for a select few.
Right.
It's available to all of us.
Exactly. And the Inflowfit Method, it gives us that roadmap for cultivating flow in every aspect of our lives.
Yeah, it's a journey of self-discovery.
It is.
Of uncovering our own unique path to living a life that's both joyful and purposeful.
And as we continue to explore these ideas,
yeah,
we begin to realize that flow is not just a destination. It's a way of being in the world.
It's about embracing the journey, all the ups and downs.
Yeah.
And finding those moments of grace and ease that make it all worthwhile.
And that brings us to the end of part 2 of our deep dive into flow state.
Stay tuned for part 3, where we're going to explore this idea of flow as transformation.
Yes, and we'll leave you with some thought-provoking questions to ponder.
And we are back. Exploring the Inflowfit method like this, it's really got me thinking about my own relationship with flow.
Yeah, it's amazing how these concepts, just talking about them, can shift our perspective.
It really is.
You start to see everyday experiences in a whole new light.
One thing that I keep coming back to is this idea of flow as transformation, that going beyond form thing that the Source talks about.
Right.
What's your take on that?
It's a powerful idea. If we think about the connection that the Source makes between flow and our energetic being,
yeah,
alongside Carl Jung's ideas about balancing those opposing forces within,
right,
it seems like it points to something bigger than just a mental state.
So it's like flow isn't just something we experience, it's something that we become.
Exactly. It's about aligning our thoughts, our actions, our energy, which, kind of goes back to that Gandhi quote that we talked about earlier,
Right.
About happiness coming from harmony between what you think, what you say, and what you do.
Right. So it's like by achieving flow, we're tapping into a deeper level of ourselves and our potential.
And that brings us to this really thought-provoking quote from Albert Einstein.
Okay.
That the Source ends with. He says, the most important decision we make is whether we believe we live in a friendly or a hostile universe.
Wow. That's a big one.
It is.
What do you think Einstein meant by that, and how does it relate to flow?
Well, imagine if you choose to believe that the universe is friendly,
Okay.
that it's supportive of your growth. How might that change how you experience flow? Would you be more likely to trust the process, to embrace challenges as opportunities?
Yeah.
Knowing that they're leading you somewhere.
It's like, choosing to see the world as like a dance partner instead of an opponent, right?
Exactly.
Suddenly those tough moments, they become part of a bigger, more beautiful dance.
And if we kind of apply that to the Inflowfit method,
Yeah.
those practices like mindfulness and gratitude, connecting with nature, they all become like tools
Okay.
for cultivating that trust, that feeling of harmony with the universe.
But let's be real, life isn't always sunshine and rainbows.
It's not.
There are going to be times when things are tough, when we struggle to find that flow.
Of course, life is cyclical.
Yeah.
We're going to experience highs and lows, moments of ease, moments of challenge. The key is not to resist those cycles, but to ride them with awareness.
Like a surfer navigating the waves.
Exactly. Remember what the Source said. The art of living in a state of flow is the art of finding balance during those tough cycles.
So it's not about like achieving this perfect state of constant flow, but about learning to navigate those inevitable ebbs and flows.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where all these practices come in.
Yeah.
This awareness that we've been talking about.
Right.
Gives us the tools to stay grounded, to stay connected to that inner sense of peace, and purpose,
Yeah.
even when things around us feel chaotic.
So for our listeners who are ready to start their own flow journey, what's the most important thing you want to leave them with?
Don't get caught up in the idea of flow as some distant destination.
Okay.
It's not about achieving some perfect state of being. It's about the journey itself.
Yeah.
It's about cultivating those moments of presence, and joy and connection in everyday life.
It's about embracing the full spectrum of human experience, the good, the bad, and everything in between.
Yes.
And finding that flow within it all.
That's beautifully put. And remember, flow is not a solo act. It's something that we cultivate within ourselves.
Yeah.
But it also ripples outwards,
Yeah.
impacting our relationships,
Right.
the world around us.
So by each of us finding our own flow, maybe we can contribute to creating a more friendly universe, a world where everyone has the opportunity to thrive.
What a beautiful thought to end on.
It is.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into flow state.
We hope this has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to explore your own path to flow.
Keep seeking, keep exploring, keep flowing.
We'll see you next time.